Yes, I have. It's always a great conference. I've been to a number of these over the last decade plus, and I find it a really great time to connect with educators from all around the world, so not the normal ones that you connect with during your day-to-day work. And there are always common themes and great discussions that happen. And even though we often feel that we're quite isolated here in Perth, it's surprising just how much in common we have with the rest of the world, and what they're experiencing and we're experiencing is on the same page. Some of the themes that I really enjoyed this time around and made sure I got to hear lots about was one in particular was about the explicit teaching of character education. And we've done this for a long time now, but this was the theme of bringing it more into lessons like sport, where boys naturally tend to gravitate to, and looking at character through those pursuits. The idea of boys belonging and connecting, especially in the early years, to their school and to their classroom and teachers. That's been one that's been around for a while, but again, that was revisited, and the research coming out around that is stronger and stronger. We know that boys need that connection to really feel secure and comfortable and thrive in their learning environment. Another one was the supporting of the academic, co-curricular, social and emotional well-being of our boys. And again, we've known this for some time, but making sure we're putting everything we can in place to make sure that we're supporting that, and different ideas and strategies that we could use to do so. And again, one that I really loved hearing about, only because I know we do this so well in IB schools, and Scotch being a PYP IB school, was that one of empowering student voice. And we know again how important it is to ensure our students feel like they can be heard and are empowered in the classroom. And that was one that, again, really took my interest to see what other schools are looking to do, and looking towards IB schools for lead there. I think one of the big issues that anecdotally came up was the one around parenting, and how in such a small space of time parenting has changed quite significantly. I think this really was seen as a worldwide issue. It's not just something that's happening in our own backyard, but happening around the globe, in that parents now have so much information via social media on how, parenting supposedly should occur. And I think they are trying to juggle all of this information and separate what is good, relevant information from what maybe is information that is just trending or not so relevant. And I think that parenting styles has changed, and we look at parents through a very different lens now. And that's been an issue that schools are facing quite significantly, especially in the last 5 years, not even decade. I think the change has been quite dramatic. I think parents are trying to balance being hands-on parents that listen, respect their child. So the days of a child should be seen and not heard have definitely gone. And now we know that children are a big part of our lives. We want them to be the centre of our worlds. They are the centre of our worlds. When a child comes into a family, it changes everything. It changes the dynamic. And I'm seeing that now via a different lens. Obviously, I've seen it as a parent myself. Now I'm seeing it as a grandparent and watching my own daughter raise her son. And so we love and adore these children, and we want them to have the world. We want to give them the world. And these days we have the means to do that. But then parents have to balance that with how much do we give them versus how much control do we take and maintain. And I think for parents it is challenging. There are also many factors that even myself as a young parent didn't have to deal with, that parents today are dealing with, particularly along the lines of technology, social media. Just so many things have moved in this world. So I think parents are facing very challenging times with lots of information. We, as I said, very positively now listen to our children, and our children have a voice, and this is great. But one of the traps that I see parents, and I've witnessed firsthand as well as I hear lots of educators talk about, is that parents, questioning to the nth degree about a child's day, about a child's interaction, and also believing 100% what their child is saying about that interaction or their day. So in the past, where a child, might tell their parent they got into trouble at school, or probably wouldn't tell their parent they got into trouble at school because they knew that their parent's reaction would be, well, what did you do? As opposed to now where the parent's reaction is often, well, why did this happen, and why did the teacher tell you off? And it's almost as if having to prove that the teacher was in the right to tell the child off or to correct the child's behaviour. I think that's one of the big traps. But I think probably one of the biggest things is parents really finding it hard to say no, finding it hard to lay boundaries down and then to stick to boundaries. And this is an area I think that parents have let go a lot. And it's an area that we need to remember that we are the parent. And, I have these conversations with parents, and parents will say to me, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to be the one to say no, or I don't know how to get my partner on the same page so we're both saying no. And I think that is something that we need to look at. We need to get back to having really firm boundaries, because firm boundaries really is what your child is looking for, and it is what will lay down the road for them to feel safe, content, and know that they are being parented and they are the child, not the parent. Well, I think it's important for parents to ensure that they are calm. Easier said than done, I know, but placing really firm routines that don't shift from day to day. And this gives children a real sense of security and safety. Yes, they will challenge them, but they will know that you're in charge, and a child needs to know who's in charge, as that helps them to feel safe and maintain consistency. And it also helps them to know that they are loved and cared about, because that's actually what routines do. They provide the structure for the parent to say, I'm in charge, I love and care about you, and we have these routines to keep you safe and to give you the things you need. So things like ensuring there are certain non-negotiables in your house. I always like the family dinner time as a non-negotiable, no devices. It's time for us to all sit together as a family, have dinner, share stories of our day. When my children were young, we used to always do what was the best part and worst part of your day. And I know it sounds corny, but it really works. It gets the family talking. There are also, you can buy cards and games that give you talking points and ideas that you can do around dinner, but just a simple conversation to share a meal, what you've liked and what you haven't liked about your day, is a great way to start. And having that as a family, we sit together. There's no TV on at this time. This is our family together time. Enforcing a firm bedtime. Children need sleep. So much research about the power of sleep. And again, the power of sleep just in them being able to function as a calm human being, as well as to learn and do all those other things we want them to do. But a firm bedtime that's non-negotiable. It might be Friday night we can stay up an hour longer and watch a family movie. That might be something that's in the routine. But, Monday to Thursday night, your bedtime is 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever it is set. That's the time you go to bed, and you have that routine of, bath, time to read. You also should be enjoying some time reading with your child and to your child. A child is never too old to be read to, and keep that going for as long as you can. And then it's quiet, calming time with books and bed. And again, these are establishing firm routines. Definitely a routine and a firm boundary around technology when it isn't allowed. how much time is allowed, and not allowing yourself to get swept into, I just want 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. I'm about to win. I'm about to, whatever it is that they're doing. I think that technology is something that parents are really battling with. And, Sam, we were having a discussion earlier about what you've just done in your household with a locked box for technology, charging box. I think that is brilliant, that at a certain time, all technology goes into the box, and it's charged for the night. Great routine, so it's ready and charged for school the next day. But then the rest of the evening is for other things, be that reading, be that, time with siblings, time with mum and dad, whatever it is. But some very simple things to be able to help you as a family have routines in place, again, helping there to be calmness and structure in the house that children might eventually push back at, but they soon do learn that this is what happens in our house. Yes, you might be told that you're the worst and only parent that does this, but trust me, you're not.